let's go through the two mouth shapes. So, Tabita, can you show us mouth shape 1 and then mouth shape 2 without any sound? Yes, perfect. Damaris, you try, same thing. Yep, that's absolutely fine. Cheza? Yep, that was good. That's fine. Moise, you try. Good. And Philip? That's it. Keep your tongue forward. Good. Mouth shape 1, then mouth shape 2. One more time. That's fine. Okay. Okay, fine. So, Tabita, how many long vowels use mouth shape 1?
3.
Okay.
2.
3 or 2? If we're just talking about long vowels, not diphthongs, just long monophthongs.
2.
2, right. Can you demonstrate them both? That's quite good. Damaris? Yep, quite good. Cheza? Good. For the second one, bring your tongue forward more. Like that. Even more. You can let your tongue go over your lip a little bit. Like that. Yeah. Quite good, quite good. Okay, Moise, you try. Yeah, that's good. Philip? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so as I've said before, you don't always have to open your mouth like that when you speak. Okay, I don't do that. Look, you can do it like that, But if you just want to develop good technique so that you really understand how it should sound, how it should feel, then this is a good way to practice. Okay, so Philip, can you give us one example of a word with the sound R and one example of a word with the sound Keep it simple. It doesn't matter if it's something we've had before. One more time.
Card.
Okay, and?
Another.
So I want one word with R, one word with
Another.
Oh, the word another, you mean? Okay, how many syllables does another have?
3.
3, right, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it having a 3-syllable word. Which syllable do you think contains the sound
The first.
Okay, say that word again.
Another.
Okay, but you're not saying this, another. Remember, the sound is long. Right? You remember I said to Tabita, I asked her how many long vowels use mouth shape 1. She said 2, and then she demonstrated them. So is a long vowel. The word another is like this. Another, da da da, da da da.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Those are short vowels, da da da. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but you're half right because the vowel in the first syllable is which is the same sound as but short. So that's the next vowel, the second vowel in that second family. Okay? So we're looking for a long vowel. Okay, try that. Give me another word with that sound.
Bird.
Okay, good. So how many individual sounds do you think that word has?
3.
3 is correct. What's the first sound? Good. Second sound? Right, there we have the vowel that we're looking for, and then the third sound. Good. So say the word again, and make sure you use only those 3 sounds, and also make sure that you open your mouth like this. Okay? That's it. Now do both words again. The previous word with R, and now this word.
What was the first word?
Something with a k sound at the beginning?
Card. Bird.
Yes, that's very good. Card, bird, right? So card as in a Christmas card, right? Or a bank card, credit card, and bird as in an animal that flies, right? So, Moise, say those two words for us.
Card. Bird.
Not bad. One more time.
Card. Bird.
Bit better, but you're doing this bird. Bird. Okay, don't do that. Just bird.
Bird.
Yes, that's quite good. Chesa, you try both words.
Card. Bird.
That's good. Now, you have a problem where you make the second sound as sort of darker than the first sound. So this is what I mean. This is what you're doing. Right? So you see what I mean? The second sound is darker in tone. That's a dark sound. Right? What you want is for the first sound to be darker and the second sound to be brighter, like this. Not this. You see what I mean? So do those two vowels again, and for the second vowel, let your tongue come up and forward more, and think of a bright tone. Okay, try again.
Card. Bird.
Not bad, but instead of bird, more like bird.
Bird.
It's a bit better.
Bird.
That's okay. That's okay. It's fine. So, Damaris, you try both words.
Card. Bird.
Yes, that's excellent. Tabita.
Card. Bird.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, fine. So, Damaris, how many diphthongs begin with mouth shape 1?
Two.
2, right, good. Demonstrate them both.
I. O.
That's good. For the second one, try to bring your lips together more like this at the end. Okay, look. O. Okay, try that.
O.
Yes, that's a lot better. Remember that it's not just about the sound. We're also trying to give visual information. If you couldn't hear Damaris, but you saw her do this, that would give you a pretty clear indication that she's making the sound O, right? Whereas if she just does this, O, the sound is pretty good, but the visual information is not quite there. So do those two vowels one more time, please, Damaris.
The both sounds?
Both diphthongs, yes.
Okay. I. O.
Yes, that's quite good. So, Chesa, give us two words, one with I, one with O. Keep it simple.
Yeah. Time.
Good. Say that word again.
Time.
Good. Excellent. And the other word?
Go.
Right. Fine. Excellent. So, Moise, you say those two words. Have you forgotten already? Chesa, you say them again.
Time. Go.
Fine. So, Moise, you try. Same words.
Time. Go.
Yeah, that's quite good. Philip, you try.
It is time or time?
Time.
Time, okay. Time. Go.
Yes, that's good. Try to finish here. Go.
Go.
Good. Like that. Imagine that you're drinking a thick milkshake, like through a straw. Like that. Okay, go.
Go.
Bit more of a stretch.
Go.
Pretty good, yeah, pretty good. Okay, Tabita, you try those two words.
time, go.
Good. And Damaris?
Time. Go.
Yes, very good. Okay, so Moise, how many short vowels use mouth shape 1?
You.
2, right. So notice the answer to the question has been 2 every time. The first question was, how many long vowels? It was 2. How many diphthongs? 2. How many short vowels? 2. The reason is that the vowels can be arranged into sets, and each one has 3 members, a long vowel, a short vowel, and a diphthong. And mouth shape 1 has 2 sets, each with 3 vowels. So 2 sets with a long vowel, a short vowel, and a diphthong, right? So you've got I, that's the first set. And then o, that's the second set. Okay, so for mouth shape 1, there are 2 long vowels, 2 short vowels, 2 diphthongs, arranged into 2 little sets of 3. So, Moise, just give us a word with the sound Just put a different consonant at the beginning and the end, see what happens. Okay, Moise, give us an example of any consonant sound. Any consonant sound at all.
Also.
Just get,
Also.
hold on. Just give us a sound, just a consonant sound.
Ah.
That's a vowel. That's the vowel we're looking for. So give us a different, a consonant sound like b, k, d, something like that. Anything, doesn't matter. Any consonant sound. We're not looking for a word anymore. We're just looking for a sound. I just want you to give me a sound. Okay, that'll do. So the sound right? So that's a consonant sound, isn't it? So what would it sound like if we put an sound after the vowel R? Sorry, not the vowel R, the vowel All I want you to do is imagine the sound followed by the sound What would that sound like? Right, good. Remember, the vowel is One more time. The vowel is Okay, one more time. Right. Now, plus Okay, so is a word? What do you think? Yes or no?
Yes.
What does it mean?
I am. Or
No, that's not pronounced That's pronounced am. That's a different vowel. That's mouth shape 2. Am. Okay? So I don't think is really a word, but what if we put a different consonant on the beginning? In fact, what if we put another on the beginning? So we've got an on the beginning, then the vowel then the sound again. What would that sound like, Moise?
Mom.
Right, good. Now that is a word. What does mum mean?
Mom and father.
Right, that's correct. So mum is an abbreviation of mother. That's very common in the UK. Most people refer to their mother as mum. Mummy, right? In America, they do it differently. They say mom, like that. Mom, like that. Mom. But British people say mum. Okay? Good. Philip, you give us another word with the sound
Short,
Yes.
Sun.
Sun, meaning?
A group of something. Some.
Some. Okay. S-O-M-E, some. Yes. That's correct. Is there any other word in English pronounced the same way?
Yes, some.
Meaning?
Uh, for example, I have a sum of money.
Right, a sum of money. Yes, that's very good. Okay, so that was an interesting example because you could kind of use both words there, couldn't you? You could say, I have some money, but you can also say, I have a sum of money. And they mean the same thing, but you're saying the same thing in two slightly different ways, right? And by coincidence, those two words sound the same, right? But it's just a coincidence, okay? Yeah, very good. So, then we have the short vowel right? Now, the vowel is rather special. Tabita, can you explain to the rest of us what is special about the vowel compared to the other short vowels that we've talked about?
I'm not sure I remember.
Okay, so Philip, you remember earlier you said the word another. And I said that the vowel in the first syllable is right? That's the vowel we're talking about now, the vowel
Yeah.
Well, that word actually contains two vowels. There's an in the first syllable and an in the third syllable. And in the middle we have by the way, which is the same vowel as in some, right?
Yeah.
Another, okay? So the vowel is very common. In that word we have two, right?
Yes.
So why is it so common? Why is the vowel so common? Anyone?
We use it more than other vowels.
We do use it more than other vowels, but there's a particular reason for that.
We use it to connect words.
No, we use consonant sounds to connect words. Is a vowel sound. Who else can remember? Cheza, what about you? Let me give an example of a word that contains this sound. Okay,
T.
Right. So the answer I'm looking for is that we use the vowel for weak syllables. Right? Weak, sorry. Okay, weak syllables. In other words, unstressed syllables. Syllables that are completely unstressed. Okay? So if you take the word another, for example, it's da. The accent, the stress is on the second syllable. But the first syllable and the last syllable are both completely unstressed. So we can just use the vowel So the vowel which is normally written in the phonetic script like this, okay, this vowel sound is used on any weak syllable, and weak syllables are very common. Okay, most words contain some weak syllables. And there are even words which we would think of as being pronounced differently, which actually are mostly pronounced with the vowel This vowel actually has a special name. It's called a schwa. Okay, it doesn't matter, but that's just a special name that we have for that sound in linguistics, in phonetics. So, for example, the word, this word. Now, you probably all think of this word as being pronounced to. But actually, a lot of the time, probably most of the time, we don't say to, we say t. So, for example, I might say this. Okay, Philip, just read this sentence for us.
I need to go.
Right, good. See, I don't have to say I need to go. Just I need to go. So, anyway, so the vowel is very common. This word, for example, is pronounced Right? Notice it's not it's not it's not eh. All of those are wrong. It's okay? This word, the. Okay? Fine. So, Moise, how many long vowels use mouth shape 2?
2.
2 is correct, right? Follows the same pattern as mouth shape 1. Same pattern. Okay? So, Damaris, can you remember the first of the two sounds, the two long vowel sounds that uses mouth shape 2? Longer. Yeah, that's good. Just open a bit more. Yes, that's a lot better. One more time. Yeah, that's excellent. Okay. Cheza, you try. Fine. Moise. One more time. Good. I can't see you very well. Try to get in the middle when you're demonstrating. Do it one more time. Yeah, that's quite good. Philip? Yep. Tabitha? Yes, that's definitely improved. A bit longer. Extend the low part. Like that. Yes, that's very good. So, Tabitha, air is actually a word, isn't it? What does it mean? Right,
us.
the stuff we breathe is air, okay? And as you said yourself, it could also be a word meaning someone who inherits. So, Cheza, put the word air into a sentence. Air meaning the stuff we breathe.
The air is fresh.
Yes, that's very good. Do that one more time.
The air is fresh.
Right. So, do it one more time, please.
The air is fresh.
Okay, that's good. So, notice that Cheza is connecting the first two words really well. He's saying the air, okay, with the air, right? If he was using the, it would sound wrong, wouldn't it? It would be like this, the air, which doesn't sound very good. Or he could stop and he could say the air. Well, that's clear, but again, it doesn't sound very good. Whereas the air sounds really good, okay? But what about connecting the word air to the word fresh? Okay, sorry, my mistake. What I meant is connecting the word air to the word is, right? So how do we connect the word air to the word is, Cheza?
The air is fresh.
Okay. So could you explain to us what you're doing now? What do you think, Tabitha?
No, I'm just trying to see if he's adding or taking out consonants or something.
Okay, right. So that's exactly the issue. So you have two options. Now, what you said originally was what I've just written. The air is fresh. Now, the way you did it wasn't quite right, but you were obviously thinking of this. The air is fresh. If you want to connect the word air to the word is, then you have to use an sound. The air is. The air is fresh. Just try that, Cheza.
The air is fresh.
That's fine, you see? So notice that this does not break the rule. The rule is that the sound can never come at the end of a syllable. But here it doesn't come at the end. It comes at the beginning. The air is fresh. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da 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 da. The air is. So phonetically, it comes at the beginning of the third syllable. The air is. 1, 2, 3. Okay? But there is another option. And that is simply to contract the word is. So if we were to write it, it would be like this. And this is actually what most people would do most of the time. This is what I would do. The air's fresh. Okay, Cheza, try it like that.
The air is fresh.
That's it. Okay, so Moise, I want you to do the sentence both ways. Once with all 4 words and once with only the 3 with the contraction. You want to
The
say?
air is fresh. The air is fresh.
Okay, so do it one more time.
The air is fresh. The air is fresh.
You see, you're relying too much on what you're seeing. Now that I've typed it out for you, you're looking at the letters and you think, oh, if I just do what's written, then it's going to be correct. No. Look, you have to listen to the sound, just like Chesa did it. So the first way, the air is fresh. That's the first way. And then the second way, the air's fresh. Okay, try that.
The air is fresh. The air is fresh.
Okay, the second way didn't sound quite right because you went like this. The air's. But it should be just airs. You see, airs. The air's fresh. The first way is like this. The air is. So there's an sound. Air is. Air is. The is there because we're connecting the word air that ends in a vowel sound to the word is that begins with a vowel sound. You can't connect two vowels. You need a consonant. So we take the sound and we stick it in there. But in the second way, we're solving the problem a bit differently. We're just removing the second vowel. We're removing the vowel from is. So instead of air is, it's just air, like that. And putting them together, airs. That's called a contraction. And it's very common in speech. It's a normal part of ordinary, everyday speech. So, the first one has an sound. The second one does not. The air is fresh. The air's fresh. Just try those two again, please, Moise.
The air is fresh. The air is fresh.
Yeah, it was better. Good. Philip, you try.
The air is fresh. The air is fresh.
Okay, so I want you to try to do the whole thing in one breath without stopping. The second one you did quite well, but the first one, you went like this. The air is fresh, right? Now, each of the words individually sounded correct, but we have to put them together, you see? The air is fresh. The air's fresh. Okay, one more time.
The air is fresh. The air is fresh. The air is fresh.
Okay, just do this. Just say the air.
The air.
No. The air.
The air
That's it. Now say riz fresh.
is fresh.
No. Riz fresh.
Is fresh.
Good. Now say the air riz fresh.
The air
No.
is fresh.
The air.
The air is fresh.
Yes. One more time.
The air is fresh.
Good. Now take away that gap in the middle. The air is fresh.
The air is fresh.
Excellent. And now the air's fresh.
The air is fresh.
That's fine. Tabita, you try both ways.
The air is fresh. Okay, again. The air's fresh. Okay, and the air's fresh.
I just heard it the same way twice. So the first one, use the sound. The air is fresh. Think of it that way. The air is fresh. Then the second one, the air's fresh.
The air's fresh.
I'm not hearing the okay? So just do this. Just say riz.
Phrase.
Good. The air is.
The air is.
That's it. Nice and strong like that. The air is fresh.
The air is fresh.
Good. One more time.
The air's free. I can't.
Okay, that's something to practice, okay? Damaris, you try both ways.
The air is fresh. The air's fresh.
Yes, that was pretty good. Pretty good. That's probably the best one so far. And Chesa, can you do it one more time?
The air is fresh. The air is fresh.
Okay, good. You did it the other way around, but that's fine.
Reverse.
Good. So, Moise, can you give us another example of a word containing the sound air?
The earth is clean.
One more time.
The yard is clean.
Okay, all I want is one word. I just want a word that contains the sound air. Okay? What word are you thinking of?
There,
One more time.
there.
Okay, that sounds good. Can you write that word for us? Sorry if that's inconvenient.
I don't think we can.
Okay, don't
do
worry.
it on-
So that's fine. So again, just to say that word one more time, Moise.
There.
Okay, now put that word into a sentence.
There is
There is what?
something.
Okay, that's fine. That's it. That's a sentence. Okay, but your better sentence would be maybe there is something wrong. See, that's an easy sentence. There is something wrong. Okay, but that's fine. There is something is a complete sentence. In fact, even there is technically is a complete sentence, I think. But maybe not. But anyway, so yeah, that's good. So the word there is correct, and we have the same connected speech situation here, because you can do this, there is, or you can do this, there's. You see? So Moise, I want you to try both ways. All I want is those two words, either as two words or as a contraction. So like this, there is, there's. Just try that.
There is. There is. There's.
That's good, but the second time you went like this, there's. Okay, no only the in the first one. There is. For the second one, just there's. Okay, there is, there's. One more time.
There is. There's.
One more time.
There is. There's.
Good. Okay. So, generally speaking, I encourage you to use contractions. So, basically, I prefer there's in spoken English as opposed to there is. But sometimes you have to make a choice. If you want to be a more, I don't know, if you want to put emphasis on the word is, then you can't contract it. Yes, there is. You see what I mean? No, there isn't. Yes, there is. I can't say yes, there's. That doesn't work at all. No, no, there isn't. Yes, there's. No, that doesn't sound right at all, does it? I have to say yes, there is. Okay. And sometimes you have a choice. So I could say, consider this for example. There isn't. Now, isn't is a contraction, but I can't contract is and isn't at the same time. I can't say there'sn't, right? That doesn't work. I have to say there isn't. But there isn't another option. I could do this. There's not. So now I'm contracting is into there to make theirs and leaving not. You see? So you've got two options. I would say there isn't is the more typical option. You will hear there isn't more often than there's not. But you will definitely hear there's not. It depends on the context or the person or the emotion they're trying to put across or something like that. Okay? So I could say there isn't enough time, something like that. There isn't enough time. It's a very common thing for someone to say. You'll hear that a lot. There isn't enough time to do this. There isn't enough time to do that. But I could say there's not enough time. You know, or simply there's not enough. There's not enough. Okay? You can do it either way. It's your choice. Okay, fine. So, Damaris, can you give us one more example of a word that contains the sound air?
Share.
Very good. Tabitha, put the word share into a sentence.
I'd like to share this with you.
Very good. So, you see Tabitha's using a contraction here, I'd, which is very good. I'd, not I would. Okay, if you're writing, you should write I would. But in speech, I'd is much more natural. I'd like to share this with you. Just do that one more time.
I'd like to share this with you.
Good. Now, is it to or to?
Oh, yeah.
It's to, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why not to?
Because it's followed by a consonant.
Right, exactly. So you see, the way I think of it, to is the default pronunciation. Does everyone here know what the word default means?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's quite a common word in computer-related stuff, right? So it means the thing that you do unless you have some reason to do something else, right? We often use this expression by default, which means unless you've got some special circumstances, this is what you do, right?
Yes.
Okay. You can think of the vowel as being something like the default vowel of English. So we'll use this vowel whenever we can because it's the easiest vowel. It's just so easy for a native English speaker to make that vowel. Every other vowel requires a little bit more effort. So if I say to share, I have no reason to say to because I don't want to stress that word. If I do stress it, it will sound a bit strange. I'd like to share this with you. Okay. Now, maybe there are some situations in which you would say that, but it's rather difficult to think of them. In most situations, I made some cake and I'd like to share it with you. But I have no reason to stress the word to, so I'm just going to say to, right? But what if I said this? Tabitha, can you say this sentence?
I'd like to eat it with you.
Good, but I want you to connect all the words.
I'd like to eat it with you.
That's good, but you see now you're doing this. You're saying to, just like
Yeah.
with to share. But you see, when you say to, that means you have to stop because there's no consonant to connect. So you have to say to eat. I'd like to eat it with you. Now that's clear. Everyone can understand what you're saying. I'd like to eat it with you. But it would sound more elegant, more graceful, more like a native if you connected those words. But you see, you can't connect if you're saying to, because then it's going to sound like this, to eat. I'd like to eat. Well, that doesn't sound good, right? So how do we solve the problem?
Yeah. To.
Right, that is essentially correct. We use a w sound to connect. But note that we're not just taking a w and sticking it in there. It's not like we did with there is. Because what we did there was we took an sound and we stuck it in. Because there isn't an sound in the word there. I know that the spelling contains the letter R, but if you think about the sound there is no not in British English, there's no and yet we connect with an But this is different. When we say to eat, what we're really doing is changing the vowel in the word to from into oo. So instead of to, we say to. But that has the result of producing a w consonant because of the way the lips move when you say oo. See my lips? Oo. Right? So, do that one more time. I'd like to eat it with you.
I'd like to eat it. I'd like to eat it with you.
No, but connect like you did the first time. I'd like to eat it with you.
I'd like to eat it with you.
Good. And now do the previous sentence. I'd like to share it with you.
I'd like to share it with you.
There, use t. I'd like to share it with you.
I'd like to share it with you.
That's fine. Good. Fine. So, Moise, how many short vowels use mouth shape 2?
2.
Good. Demonstrate them both.
A. A.
Okay, one more time.
A. A.
The problem is I'm only hearing one vowel. You're doing the same vowel twice. That's what I'm hearing. Okay? This is what I want to hear. A. A.
A. A.
That's good, but don't change your mouth shape. Okay? The sound was good, but don't change your mouth shape. Look. A. A.
A. A.
You're still moving your mouth too much. Keep your mouth in one position. A. A.
A. A.
Better. One more time.
A. A.
That's very good. Philip, you try.
A. A.
Fine. Tabita.
A. A.
Excellent. Damaris.
A. A.
Good. Cheza.
A. A.
Not bad. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so Philip, give us an example of a word with the sound eh. So remember the method. You just put different sounds from the beginning and the end.
Bed.
Bed, right. Very good. Moise, give us another example of a word with the sound eh.
Air.
Do you mean this word?
Yeah.
Okay.
Air.
So, how many sounds are in this word?
Air.
How
One.
many? Just one? Is that what
Yeah.
you said? Just one? Okay. So we've already talked about this word, haven't we? What was the vowel? How? Just say this word again for us.
Air.
So Tabita, can you explain to Moise the mistake that he's making?
I think it was the longer vowel.
Right. You see, we've already talked about the long vowel air. Right. We were just talking about that. We started by looking at the word air, and then Cheza gave us the sentence, something about fresh air, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The air's fresh. The air is fresh. Right? You remember? So that we were talking about air because it's that long sound, air, right? But now we're talking about eh. You see? Eh, not long. Eh, that's a short sound, isn't it? So, and then Philip gave us an example, which was the word bed. You see? So we've got a b at the beginning and a d at the end. Bed. Just remember that short vowels, like eh, will always be followed by a consonant sound, right? So in the word bed, we have the sound d at the end, right? Like this. Hold on. Okay, so short vowels like eh will always be followed by a consonant sound. The exception is the vowel because remember, is special. And one of the ways in which is special is that, unlike other short vowels, it doesn't have to be followed by a consonant. Consider, for example, the word right? There's no sound after it. Or the word the. Okay, again, it's not followed by a consonant. But with the sound you have to have a consonant after it, like in the word bed. So, Moise, give us another word with the sound
Fat.
Meaning?
You said something.
You mean this word?
No.
Say the word again.
Set.
Meaning?
I said alarm or.
Oh, right. Okay, you mean this word. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Say that word again.
Said.
Good. Now, the reason I was a bit confused about your what word you were saying, well, it was partly because of the sentence you gave. You said something like, it sounded like I said something or something, which makes sense, you see. If you said this is pretty clear. I said something, right? What you meant was I set something, right? Which is not a particularly clear example of the word set. But then when you said I set my alarm, okay, this is much clearer. This is a good example of the word set, because we often talk about setting an alarm, right? So I just want you to say both of these words again, please, and note that the vowel is the same in these two words. Okay, remember that, by the way, everyone. Both of these words have the vowel e. So Moise, say these two words, please.
Said. Said.
One more time.
Said. Said. Said.
So remember, they both have the vowel e. So do it one more time.
Said. Said.
Yes, that's a lot better. Okay. So the difference, well, Damaris, can you explain the difference in pronunciation between these two words? It's quite simple, isn't it?
Yes.
Go on, Damaris. It's not a trick question. It's a very, very simple question. What's the difference in pronunciation between these two words? Said, set.
The difference is we have a different consonant at final.
Right, exactly. So in the first one we have d, in the second one we have t, right? Said, set. Now, these two consonants are like a pair, aren't they? They're like brother and sister. Because they're sort of like versions of each other. The first sound, d, is the same as the second sound, except that it's unvoiced. And the second sound, t, is the same as the first sound, except that it's unvoiced. Right? Did I get that right? So, d is voiced, t is unvoiced. Because when I say d, you see, you can hear my voice, d, 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 like that. But when I say t, t, no voice, just this sound of air blowing over my teeth. T, d, t, d, t. Okay, that's the difference. So, this word ends in a voiced consonant, said. And this word ends in an unvoiced consonant, set. But notice that when I say this word, I do not do this, said. Right? I don't need to do that. Said. Not necessary. The important thing is that when I say this word, the vowel connects to the consonant. It sort of blends into the consonant in a way. Whereas when I say the other word, the consonant at the end is kind of separated. Okay, listen again. Said. Set. Okay, said. You see, when I say said, it's still just a little t sound at the end, but it happens immediately. Said, like that. Said. In fact, I don't even need it. I can just do this. Said. That's all I have to do. That's what I said. You see, I don't need to say said. That's what he said. That's what I said. I can just say said. That's what he said. But with the other one, it's like this. Set. Set. There's a delay. Okay? Said. Set. Said. Set. Damaris, you try those two words.
Said. Said.
Quite good. So for the second one, just hold your mouth open for, a moment before you do the t sound, like this. Set. Okay, do those two words again.
Said. Said.
You see, you're
Set.
rushing to close your mouth. Hold it open for a second. Mouth shape 2. You see, this is part of the reason why we practice these mouth shapes, so you get really familiar with just holding your mouth in position. Said. Set. Okay, try again.
Said. Se.
Much better. One more time.
Said. Se.
That's good. Now, there's another thing you can do that will make the effect even clearer, and that's called a glottal stop. So your glottis is this muscle here, which we always use to when we're speaking. For example, when you cough, you go like this. That's your glottis. So, right? So you can control it consciously. Now, we use that muscle at the beginning of a vowel. If I say ah, for example, you see? Ah, ah. But we can use it at the end as well. So listen again, I'm going to say this word, and notice how my glottis closes at the end of the vowel. Set. Yeah? If I don't do that, if I keep my glottis open, it will sound the way that Damaris did it, like this. Set. You hear the breath continuing to come out. Set. Like that. Set. But if I close my glottis, the sound is really clear, like this. Set. Okay? So, Damaris, one more time, both words like this. Said. Set. Okay, try that.
Said. Set.
Perfect. Cheza, you try.
Said. Set.
Yep, that's fine. Moise, you try.
Said. Set.
Very good. Philip.
Said. Set.
Yeah, really good. Tabitha.
Said.
That's fine.
Said. Set.
That's very good. Just open your mouth more, though. Remember, as I keep on saying, in ordinary speech, you don't necessarily have to open your mouth a lot, but for these exercises, think of it as sort of like yoga for your face, right? Okay, so said, set.
Said. Set.
Yeah, that's better. Okay, now, I particularly like the way Philip did it, because you'll notice that with Philip, because he's such a lazy person, he didn't even bother to make the final sound. And actually, that is how a lot of British natives, including me, will do it a lot of the time. Okay, so look, I'm going to say both words, and you'll notice that I don't really make a consonant sound at the end. Both. Said. Set. You see what I mean? So if I said something like this. That's what I said. It's clear, isn't it? You can all understand me, can't you? Okay. You don't even have to be a native English speaker or even a really advanced English speaker to understand. Even if your English is sort of intermediate level, you can still understand what I'm saying. It's confidence, right? That's what I said. Perfectly clear. Now, what about this? I set my alarm. I set my alarm. I'm not making any t sound. I set my alarm. But you can understand me, can't you? Did you set your alarm? Did you set your alarm? See, perfectly clear. So this time I want you to do the same thing, both words, and I want you to do both of them the way that I just did it. So listen again. Said. Set. Okay, Damaris, you try.
Said. Set.
For the second one, hold your mouth open at the end like this. Set.
Said. Set.
Watch me one more time. Said. Set.
Said. Set.
That's good, but you don't need to make any t sound at the end. All you need to do is the glottal stop. That's the thing I'm doing. I'm doing that glottal stop at the end, you see? Said. Set. Okay, try one more time.
Set. Set.
Okay, you just practice that. You're still doing it very well. It's just that this little technique, you haven't quite got it, but I'm sure you'll get it with a bit of practice. Chazzy, you try.
Set. Set.
Good. One more time.
Set. Set.
You're doing the second one correctly. The first one, it sounds fine, but what I want you to do for this exercise is this. Said.
Set.
Almost. A bit stronger at the end. Said.
Set.
Not quite. It's like this. Said.
Set.
That's better.
Set.
That's better. Okay, Moise, see if you can do it both ways.
Sad. Set.
That was pretty good, actually. Philip, you try.
Set. Set.
That's also very good. You just need to be a bit more fast for the second one. It was fine, but you went like this, said, or set, like that, set. And it needs to be snappier like this. So both words, I'll demonstrate both again. Said. Set. You see, it's just fast like that. Do it one more time.
Set. Set.
Set.
Set.
Open more, look. Set.
Set.
Good. Said. Set.
Said. Set.
Yes, that'll do. Tabitha, you try.
Set. Set.
The second one, I want you to finish here. Set.
Set.
Set.